On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Cult.
A small religious group, especially one that is not part of a larger religion and that is regarded as outside the norm, followers of an exclusive system of beliefs and practices.
Examples:
Cult members. Cult's practices. The cult leader promised his followers that they would achieve enlightenment if they followed his teachings.
Evolution.
A gradual process of transformation of living things.
Examples:
Human evolution. Evolution theory. They study the evolution of the universe.
Loose.
Not securely fixed or fastened in place or able to be detached or separated from something.
Examples:
A loose tongue. Remove loose hair. The inspector discovered loose bolts under the fuel rods.
Planet.
Any of the 9 large celestial bodies that circle in the solar system, any celestial body that revolves around a star.
Examples:
Planet like the Earth. Save the planet. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun.
Toddler.
A young child who has recently learned to walk.
Examples:
An active toddler. Toddler in nappy. A toddler needs constant supervision and firm control.
Havoc.
Widespread destruction or devastation, often caused by natural disasters, war, or other violent events.
Examples:
Cause havoc. Play havoc in the mind. The storm wreaked havoc on the town, causing widespread damage and power outages.
Humming.
Producing a continuous, low, vibrating sound like that of the bee.
Examples:
Humming sound. Hummingbird. The humming of the bees filled the air as she walked through the garden.
Consequence.
The outcome of a particular action or event, especially relative to an individual.
Examples:
Unintended consequences. The consequence of an argument. These economic activities had disastrous environmental consequences.
Meme.
A cultural idea, value, or pattern of behavior that is passed from one generation to another by imitation rather than genetic means, as an internet meme, an image, a video, a piece of text, etc., that is remixed, copied, and circulated in a shared cultural experience online.
Examples:
Pronounce meme. Religious meme. This cute dog's photo spread around the world as an internet meme.
Cosmos.
Another name for the universe, mainly used when it is thought of as an ordered system.
Examples:
Exploration of cosmos. Origin of the cosmos. Supercomputers enable scientists to create computational models of the cosmos.
Secondly.
Used to introduce the second point or item in a list or series of statements, considerations, etc.
Examples.
Secondly connected. Secondly, it is important. Firstly, we will discuss the budget. Secondly, we will go over the schedule.
Quest.
A long or challenging search for something.
Examples.
The quest for truth. On a quest for happiness. That adventurer traveled in quest of buried treasure.
Principle.
A fundamental law or truth that explains or controls how something happens or works.
Examples.
Principle of treatment. Principle in business. Efficiency isn't an essential principle here, fairness is.
Universal.
Existing or affecting everywhere or everyone.
Examples.
Universal life. Principles of universal design. The picture earned near universal acclaim from critics.
Darwinism.
The theory of evolution proposed by Charles Darwin, stating that species evolve through natural selection, survival of the fittest, and adaptation to the environment.
Examples.
Digital Darwinism. Economic Darwinism. The concept of social Darwinism was often misused to justify socioeconomic inequalities.
Amazing.
Extremely surprising, especially in a way that you like or admire.
Examples.
Amazing advances. The most amazing feeling. The golfer recorded an amazing distance.
Universe.
Everything that exists, especially all physical matter, including planets, stars, galaxies, and all other forms of matter and energy.
Examples.
Theory of the universe. Expansion of the universe. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old.
Biology.
The scientific study of life and the natural processes of living things.
Examples.
Evolutionary biology. Cell and molecular biology. In junior high school, we had to dissect a frog in biology class.
Paraphrase.
To restate or reword a passage in one's own words, often to clarify or simplify the original meaning.
Examples.
Paraphrase a poem into prose. Paraphrase the meaning. He paraphrased the article in his own words to avoid being accused of plagiarism.
Origin.
The first existence or beginning of something.
Examples.
Origin of all humankind. A manuscript of uncertain origin. There are various hypotheses concerning the origin of life.
Creature.
A living being, especially an animal.
Examples:
Creature of habit. Artificial creature. The deep-sea creature was unlike anything the scientists had ever seen before.
Vary.
To become different in terms of size, shape, etc.
Examples:
Vary according to the age. Vary directly with the price. Maximum heart rates vary a lot for each individual.
Doubt.
A feeling of being uncertain about something, especially about how good or accurate it is.
Examples:
Dispel doubts. No doubt about the news. Doubt is the start, not the end, of intelligence.
Measured.
Done with careful consideration or calculated precision, controlled or regulated in manner or speech, deliberate and thoughtful.
Examples:
Measured analysis. Measured tone of voice. Her measured response to the criticism showed her ability to remain calm and composed under pressure.
Beak.
The hard and pointed or curved mouth of a bird.
Examples:
Sharp beak. A tip of the beak. The bird's beak evolves according to the type of prey it can take on the area.
Shell.
Hard outer covering or case of eggs, nuts, some seeds, and some animals.
Examples:
An egg shell. A mollusk shell. The outermost electron shell determines the chemical properties of an atom.
Struggle.
To make a great effort to do something when it is difficult, or there are a lot of problems, to use force or violence to break away from restraint or constriction.
Examples:
Struggle against discrimination. Struggle to get the job. He could not struggle against temptation.
Calculated.
Done with careful thought or planning, deliberate and intentional, based on a process of reasoning or estimation rather than on instinct or chance.
Examples:
Calculated bankruptcy. Calculated crime. The company made a calculated decision to invest in new technology.
Breed.
To keep animals for producing offspring in a regulated manner.
Examples:
Breed horses. Breed suspicion. This animal breeds in northern latitudes.
Unrestricted.
Not limited or confined in any way.
Examples:
Unrestricted access. Have unrestricted options. Capitalism allows unrestricted property ownership for individuals.
Survive.
To live or exist despite a dangerous event or period.
Examples:
survive a blizzard, survive a plane crash. These birds can only survive in temperate climates.
Offspring.
Descendant, any immature animal or plant.
Examples:
female offspring, produce offspring. How many offspring does the average lion have?
Adapt.
To make fit for or change to suit a new purpose or environment.
Examples:
adapt fully to the environment. Adapt as needed. I advised him to adapt to his new surroundings.
Circumstance.
The specific conditions or events that surround a particular situation or occurrence.
Examples:
circumstance of birth, circumstance of injury. She explained the circumstances surrounding the accident.
Par.
A state of being equal to someone or something.
Examples:
above par performance, not up to par. Shares in the company finally fell below their par value.
Concept.
An idea or principle associated with something abstract.
Examples:
learn new concepts. Concept car. One such rapidly growing concept is quantum cryptography.
Algorithm.
A set of rules or rigorous instructions typically used to solve a specific problem or to perform a computation.
Examples:
the RSA algorithm. Algorithm for image processing. We can evaluate the performance of an algorithm in terms of computation time.
Evolutionary.
Relating to or denoting how living things develop or change from earlier forms.
Examples:
ecology and evolutionary biology. The evolutionary process. Evolutionary algorithms can find ways to optimize that humans do not anticipate.
Variation.
The act or state of changing, a difference or change in the way something is done, made, or said.
Examples:
variation of temperature. Gene variation. There is a lot of variation in the colors of flowers in the garden.
Heredity.
The passing of traits or characteristics from parents to their offspring through genetic information. The study of how traits are inherited and passed down through generations.
Examples:
heredity factors. Genetic heredity. We can't control the color of our eyes because it's determined by heredity. Chaos. A state of complete confusion or disorder, often characterized by a lack of predictability or control.
Examples:
Chaos theory. Midst of chaos. The conference room was in chaos as everyone tried to speak at once.
Aid.
Things sent to help countries in need, notably food or money, support.
Examples:
Financial aid. Country-by-country aid programs. Pakistan's aid budget was still being reviewed.
Slide.
To move or cause to move smoothly along a surface without interruption.
Examples:
Slide a card across the table. Slide a glance. If necessary, you can slide the front seats forward.
Foresight.
The ability to anticipate or predict future events or outcomes. The act of planning for the future with wisdom and prudence, an intuitive sense of what is to come.
Examples:
Strategic foresight. Foresight planning. With foresight, she made a plan to avoid any potential obstacles.
Nowhere.
Not in, at, or to any place, not anywhere.
Examples:
Nowhere else to go. Come out of nowhere. I've been thinking all day and getting nowhere.
Gene.
The fundamental unit of heredity and the sequence of nucleotides in DNA that codes for the creation of RNA or protein.
Examples:
Gene expression. Gene cloning. A defective gene is responsible for the disease.
Evolve.
To develop gradually, or to cause the development of something or someone gradually.
Examples:
Evolve. Evolve over the past decade. Eyeless fish evolved in dark caves.
Extinct.
No longer in existence.
Examples:
Extinct by human activity. Long extinct volcano. Many species have become extinct due to habitat destruction and other human activities.
Selfish.
Concerned primarily with one's profit or pleasure without regard for others, forming or arising from a person's self or interest.
Examples:
Selfish motive. Selfish desire. His selfish ambition caused him to step on others to climb the corporate ladder.
Regardless.
Not paying attention or considering something or someone even if the situation is bad or there are difficulties.
Examples:
Regardless of the difficulties. Regardless tread. People can pick out superior products regardless of the quality of the advertising.
Clumsy.
Lacking in grace or skill, awkward, cumbersome.
Examples:
clumsy at sports. Clumsy attempt. The clumsy waiter accidentally spilled a tray of drinks on a customer.
Drift.
To move smoothly and slowly in water or air, especially as a result of outside forces, with no control over the direction.
Examples:
drift down the stream, drift away on a raft. I drifted around for years in Europe before going to university.
Prime val.
Relating to or existing at the earliest ages, ancient, primitive, or prehistoric.
Examples:
primeval forests, archaic primeval cultures. The cave paintings offer a glimpse into primeval human art.
Imitation.
A duplicate of anything, particularly something valuable, the act of replicating someone or something.
Examples:
imitation antique, artificial imitation. Many individuals believe that children learn languages through imitation.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal, a systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective, a method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
process improvement, decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Mime.
A form of acting or performance in which gestures, body movements, and facial expressions are used to convey meaning or tell a story without the use of spoken words. A performer who specializes in this art form.
Examples:
hilarious mime act, mime artist. The mime's silent performance captivated the audience, leaving them in awe.
Imitate.
To copy the speech, behavior, appearance, etc. of someone or something.
Examples:
imitate painting styles, imitate animal sounds. He imitated the modus operandi of the famous phantom thief.
Core.
The most essential or fundamental part of something.
Examples:
the core of an apple, core business activity. These gas nebulas are merely newborn galactic cores.
Definition.
A concise explanation of the meaning of a word, phrase, or symbol.
Examples:
a precise definition. The definition of a word. Parallel lines are, by definition, lines on the same plane that never cross.
Abbreviate.
To shorten a word or phrase by leaving out some of the letters or syllables, to make something shorter or more concise.
Examples:
abbreviate words. Abbreviate a long document. I will abbreviate the title of the article to save space.
Stick.
To put something, usually a sharp object, into something, noun, a thin piece of wood or other material.
Examples:
Stick a key in a lock. Fire stick. You stick a bill in the change machine, and the coins pop out.
Malign.
To speak or write about someone or something in a harmful or critical way. Adjective, evil or harmful in nature or influence.
Examples:
Malign influence. Malign the politician in the media. The article maligned the company's reputation with false accusations.
Misunderstand.
To interpret or understand something in the wrong way.
Examples:
Misunderstand each other. Misunderstand entirely about her. You should not misunderstand the meaning of freedom.
Equivalent.
Having the same value, quality, meaning, purpose, etc.
Examples:
Equivalent amounts. Equivalent in meaning. The European Central Bank is Europe's equivalent of the Federal Reserve.
Fetch.
To go and bring back something or someone, to retrieve or obtain something.
Examples:
Fetch the mail. Fetch a ball. Could you help me fetch the ball from the other side of the field?
Invention.
The creation of a new device or process resulting from study and experimentation, the act of inventing.
Examples:
The invention of new techniques. Common invention. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Earring.
A piece of jewelry, typically worn on the earlobe, consisting of a decorative item, often a gemstone or a metal design, attached to a post or a ring that passes through the earlobe.
Examples:
Diamond earring. Gold earring. She bought a beautiful pair of pearl earrings for her sister's wedding.
Suppose.
To think that something is likely to be actual or possible.
Examples:
Suppose you're right. Suppose beforehand. What do you suppose the culprit's motive was?
Probable.
Likely to happen or likely to be true.
Examples:
Probable outcome. Probable cause of a fire. It seems probable that he has forgotten our scheduled meeting.
Pass.
No longer fashionable or current, outdated, considered to be old-fashioned or out of date.
Examples:
Passé entertainment. Passé trend. Bell-bottom jeans, once considered passé fashion, have made a surprising comeback in recent years.
Fest.
A festive celebration, often one that lasts for several days and involves music, food, and other forms of entertainment.
Examples:
Film fest, beer fest. The music fest was a huge success, with thousands of people in attendance.
Mass.
A large amount of a substance with no definite shape or form, a large number of people or things grouped or crowded together.
Examples:
A mass of molten rock. Critical mass. The mass of people who do not own property is politically impotent.
Posh.
Elegant, fashionable, or luxurious, often to an excessive or ostentatious degree, associated with the upper classes or a high level of social status.
Examples:
Posh district. Posh restaurant. The CEO's office was decorated in a posh and elegant style.
Pardon.
To forgive someone for something they have said or done, such as a crime. Noun, the act of excusing a mistake or offense.
Examples:
Pardon me. Supplicate for pardon. The governor decided to pardon the prisoner after reviewing the evidence of his innocence.
Inaudible.
Unable to be heard clearly or loud enough to be heard.
Examples:
Inaudible whisper. Inaudible sound. The speaker's voice was inaudible over the background noise.
Sink.
To submerge or go down below the surface of a liquid or substance, to decline or deteriorate, to cause something to go down into a liquid substance or sink into something else.
Examples:
Sink a lot of capital. Sink a buzzer beater. The abandoned ship slowly began to sink into the murky waters of the harbor.
Toilet.
A bowl-shaped plumbing fixture with a seat for defecation and urination, or a room or building containing one or more of this fixture.
Examples:
Toilet paper. Toilet seat. She walked to the toilet to freshen up before the meeting.
Photograph.
A picture or image that is produced by a camera, a visual representation or record of a person, object, or scene that has been captured electronically or on film.
Examples:
Photograph album. Photograph memories. I found an old photograph of my grandparents from their wedding day.
Jungle.
An area of tropical forest wherein which trees and plants grow very thickly.
Examples:
Middle of the jungle. Jungle exploration. This village is still in a dense jungle.
Exploit.
To make full use of and gain an advantage from resources, opportunities, etc.
Examples:
Exploit a security hole. Exploit a valuable opportunity. We exploit our mining resources to strengthen our national power.
Opportune.
Suitable or happening at a time that is suitable or convenient for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Opportune occasion. An opportune remark. The phone rang at the most opportune time.
Potentially.
In a possible state or condition, possibly.
Examples:
Potentially affected. Potentially lucrative. The organization assisted in the de-escalation of potentially violent situations.
Germ.
A very tiny living that causes the disease, a piece of something such as an organism, concept, etc., capable of growing into a new one or part of one.
Examples:
Antibiotic-resistant germ. A germ-free environment. The germ of his idea came from watching birds flying in flocks.
Brain.
The organ inside the head that is responsible for one's movement, thought, memory, and feeling.
Examples:
Basic brain function. Permanent brain damage. X-rays revealed a small tumor in his brain.
Invert.
To turn something upside down, inside out, to reverse the position, order, or relationship of something.
Examples:
Invert a glass. Invert position. He decided to invert his investment portfolio, shifting from stocks to bonds.
Shorthand.
A system of rapid handwriting or abbreviation that uses symbols, abbreviations, or other devices to represent words or phrases, a short and simple way of expressing or describing something.
Examples:
Learn shorthand. Write in shorthand. The secretary's shorthand was so good that she could type up meeting minutes within minutes.
Prop.
A piece of wood, metal, etc., placed beneath or against something to support it or keep it in position, a system, institution, or person that gives help or support to someone or something.
Examples:
Emotional prop. Prop stick. We have finally lost our last prop.
Machinery.
A group of large machines or the components of a machine that make it work, social institution functions or structure for doing something.
Examples:
Heavy machinery. Inactive machinery. The machinery of audit formally issued a business improvement order.
Conventional.
Based on or following traditional rules, standards, customs, etc.
Examples:
A conventional style. Get a conventional loan. She is very conventional in her thoughts.
Unique.
Being the only one of its kind, unlike anything else.
Examples:
A unique teacher. Unique design. The painting is unique, and there is no other like it.
Enhance.
To increase or improve the quality, amount, or strength of someone or something.
Examples:
Enhance value. Enhance the flavor of the vanilla. The new strategy will enhance the profitability of our company.
Survival.
The state of continuing to exist or live, frequently in the face of difficulty or danger.
Examples:
Survival ability. Survival food. He evaluated his chances for survival rather pessimistically.
Mating.
The act of pairing a male and female for reproductive purposes.
Examples:
Mating season. Mating behavior. Before copulating with the female, the male bird performs a mating dance.
Complain.
To say dissatisfaction or annoyance about something or somebody.
Examples:
Complain about a job. Call and complain frequently. Our users are often complaining about the slow application.
Ancestor.
A person from whom one is descended, a forefather.
Examples:
Ancestor language. Earliest human ancestor. My remote ancestor immigrated to the United States from Ireland in the 1800s.
Advantage.
A condition or circumstance that puts one in a favorable or superior position, a beneficial feature or asset that someone or something has.
Examples:
Score an advantage. Take advantage of his weak points. One of the main advantages of the new product is its increased efficiency.
Fir.
A type of tall evergreen tree that is native to the northern hemisphere, with needle-like leaves and cones that stand upright on the branches.
Examples:
Fir branch. Fir forest. The smell of fresh fir trees filled the air at the Christmas tree farm.
Technique.
A particular way or art of doing something that needs skill.
Examples:
A technique in martial arts. The technique applied to construction. Jockey's superior technique brought him victory.
Hunt.
To go after and try to catch wild animals to kill them for food, sport, or profit.
Examples:
Hunt a job. Hunt after knowledge. Hounds hunt their prey by using their keen scent.
Inevitably.
In a manner that cannot be avoided or prevented.
Examples:
Inevitably decline with age. Inevitably reach the consumer. Because of his excellent performance, he will inevitably be promoted.
Economical.
Providing a satisfactory return on the money, time, or effort, not using more money, fuel, etc. than necessary.
Examples:
economical use of her time, an economical meal. It is more economical to wash your plastic bottle and reuse it.
Compete.
To strive to achieve more success than someone or something.
Examples:
compete against a friend, compete fiercely. You must compete with others to obtain this position.
Peculiar.
Odd and uncommon, sometimes in an unpleasant way.
Examples:
peculiar way, peculiar people. The juice has a peculiar taste.
Religion.
A deep conviction in a supernatural power that controls human destiny.
Examples:
religion sociology, freedom of religion. Their religion strictly prohibits them from drinking or gambling.
Parasite.
An organism that lives on or in another organism and benefits by deriving nutrients at the other's expense.
Examples:
blood-sucking parasite, parasite disease. Tapeworms are parasites that live in the intestines of humans and animals.
Symbiotic.
Involving two varieties of animal or plant, each of which supplies the conditions for the other to exist.
Examples:
symbiotic economy, symbiotic bacteria. We have a mutually symbiotic connection with them.
Relation.
The way two persons or groups of people feel and act toward one another.
Examples:
relation between cause and effect, relation of inclusion. The industrial relations laws were passed with little to no alteration.
Perspective.
A certain attitude towards something, a particular style of thinking about something.
Examples:
a perspective view, perspective of the battle. His father's death changed his whole perspective on life.
Gesture.
A movement of the hands, head, or face that express a particular meaning.
Examples:
gesture of goodwill, hand gesture. She made a facial gesture to express disagreement.
Technological.
Based on scientific and industrial progress.
Examples:
technological advancement, technological policy. Technological advances have disrupted many industries.
Techno.
A style of electronic dance music that originated in Detroit in the 1980s and is characterized by a repetitive, synthesized beat and minimalist sound effects, the use of advanced technology or techniques in a particular field.
Examples:
Techno beat, techno festival. The club's playlist featured a lot of techno music.
Writ.
A written legal order or command.
Examples:
A writ of summons. Issue a writ. He was served with a writ of eviction, giving him the notice to vacate the property.
Storage.
The act or process of putting in and keeping something in a particular place for use in the future, an electronic memory device that can store information.
Examples:
A storage battery. Storage at low temperature. We store customer data in cloud storage.
Clay.
A natural, earthy material that is made up of very small particles of minerals and can be molded when wet and then fired to produce ceramics.
Examples:
Clay animation. Soft clay ground. The sculptor carefully molded the clay into the desired shape.
Tablet.
A small flat electronic device used for browsing the internet, reading, writing, or playing games. A small, solid pill of medicine.
Examples:
A multivitamin tablet. Tablet keyboard. The new tablet device has a faster processor and better graphics than its predecessor.
Extraordinary.
Exceptional, unexpected, very unusual, surpassing the ordinary or usual.
Examples:
Extraordinary ability. Extraordinary weather. He narrated the extraordinary story of his adventure.
Implant.
To insert or fix an artificial device in a person's body, to put an idea, attitude, etc., firmly in the mind.
Examples:
Implant genes in the animals. Implant into the uterus. The doctor will implant a pacemaker to regulate his heart rate.
Cusp.
A pointed end, especially the pointed end of a crescent moon or the part of a curve that is most curved.
Examples:
Cusp of change. A single cusp. The project was on the cusp of success and needed a little more funding.
Frank.
Honest and sincere, open and candid in expression.
Examples:
Frank and open discussion. Make a frank apology. Full involvement means frank and prompt responses.
Equation.
The act of regarding as equal, mathematics, a statement that expresses the equality of two expressions by connecting them with the equal sign. The equation of poverty with ignorance. A chemical equation. In this class, you will learn how to solve quadratic equations.
Concentration.
The ability to focus all your time and energy on one thing without thinking about anything else.
Examples.
Concentration of armaments. His research area of concentration. This exam requires excellent concentration to pass.
Productive.
Resulting in or making a lot or a significant amount of something, especially something of value.
Examples.
Low productive capacity. Productive meeting. The new employee proved extremely productive, completing projects ahead of schedule.
Estimate.
To guess or calculate the cost, the size, value, etc. of something.
Examples.
Estimate of fair value. Estimate this chicken to weigh 3 pounds. We estimated the season's total trade deficit at $50 billion.
Communicate.
To share or exchange information with others by speaking, writing, moving your body, or using other signals.
Examples.
Communicate his anxieties to the psychiatrist. Communicate well with my advisor. Dolphins use sound to communicate with each other.
Civilization.
A complex and highly organized society that has developed over time and has a dominant culture, including features such as language, religion, government, technology, and social customs.
Examples.
Civilization decline. Lost civilization. The rise and fall of civilizations can be studied through history and archaeology.
Galaxy.
An independent group of stars, interstellar gas, dark matter, etc., in the universe, bound together by gravity.
Examples.
Elliptic galaxy. A galaxy of famous actors. The Milky Way galaxy has numerous water-bearing planets.
Formation.
The way something is created naturally, or the way it has been arranged.
Examples.
A rock formation. Formation flight. Character formation is one of the goals of education.
Crucial.
Extremely vital or necessary.
Examples.
Crucial information. A crucial issue for women. The revitalization of technology companies is crucial to the country's growth.
Intelligence.
The ability to learn, comprehend, or make judgments or conclusions based on reasons.
Examples.
An intelligence test. Field of artificial intelligence. In terms of intelligence, he was head and shoulders above his classmates.
Guise.
The outward appearance or aspect of someone or something, especially in a way that is different from usual or concealing the true nature.
Examples:
In the guise of a woman. Under the guise of friendship. They operated an illegal business under the guise of an employment agency.
Fee.
A sum of money charged for a particular service.
Examples:
Fee calculation. Service fee. The lawyer's fee for the case was $10,000.
Basis.
The most important facts, ideas, or events from which something is developed, the way how things are organized or arranged.
Examples:
On an equal basis. Basis for calculation. This evidence will form the basis for our discussion.
Fraction.
A small part or item forming a piece of a whole, the quotient of two rational numbers.
Examples:
A fractional share of the vote. A numerator in a fraction. He spent only a fraction of his earnings.
Probe.
A tool used for testing or examining, especially for medical or scientific purposes, or an exploratory mission to a planet or other celestial body. Verb, to investigate, examine, or search into something.
Examples:
A lunar probe. Probe for inside information. NASA sent a probe to study the atmosphere of Jupiter.
Peter.
To fail or lose power, efficiency, or value gradually before coming to an end.
Examples:
Eventually peter out. Begin to peter out. The music just petered out.
Ward.
A room in a hospital for patients requiring special care.
Examples:
A children's ward. Ward nurse. The patient was moved to the intensive care ward for further treatment.
Moth.
An insect with wings similar to a butterfly that travels at night and is attracted to light.
Examples:
Moth larva. Moth attracted to the light. The moth is a serious threat to the farm's output.
Agon.
A contest or competition, typically one in which participants exert themselves physically or mentally to achieve victory or surpass others.
Examples:
Emotional agon. An agon of creativity. The weightlifting competition brought together athletes from different countries for an international agon.
Kitten.
A young cat.
Examples:
Kitten formula. Newborn kitten. The kitten's fur was so fluffy that it looked like it was always moving.
Slightly.
In a small degree or extent, a little.
Examples:
increase slightly, slightly alkaline soils. He moved his body slightly to the left.
Myelin.
A white fatty substance that covers around nerves, helping them to send signals effectively.
Examples:
myelin encasing the axons. Myelin protein. Myelin sheath allows electrical impulses to travel quickly and efficiently along the nerve cells.
Myelinated.
Having a layer of myelin equals a fatty substance around nerve fibers, which serves to insulate and speed up the transmission of nerve impulses.
Examples:
myelinated white matter. Myelinated axons. Myelinated nerves conduct signals faster than unmyelinated nerves.
Organ.
A part of the body of an animal or plant that has a particular purpose and performs a specific job.
Examples:
organ bleeding. Damage to internal organs. These infections have the potential to impact practically every organ system.
Branch.
A division of a tree or woody shrub that grows out from the trunk or a main stem, a division of some larger or more complex organization.
Examples:
branch office. A branch pipe. The branch of the tree had fallen and blocked the road.
Experiment.
The scientific test conducted to observe what happens and gain new knowledge.
Examples:
experiment design. Series of experiments. His experiments showed highly positive results.
Obvious.
Easy to see, discover, or understand.
Examples:
obvious reasons. His conclusion was obvious. There are obvious differences between the two wine-producing regions.
Merge.
To combine or integrate things, or to cause this to happen.
Examples:
merge into a new party. Merge those systems into a new one. This consulting firm decided to merge the two companies into one.
Replicate.
To make an exact copy of something, to repeat a process or experiment to confirm the results.
Examples:
replicate the cell. Replicate data. The experiment was replicated several times to ensure accuracy.
Convenient.
Useful, helpful, or quick to do.
Examples:
convenient way. Convenient location. The airport offers 5 convenient access routes.
Piggyback.
A ride on someone's back or shoulders, or the act of carrying or supporting something on someone's back or shoulders. Verb, to carry or transport someone or something on one's back or shoulders, or to attach or mount one thing onto another thing for transportation or support.
Examples:
Piggyback on her success. Piggyback equipment. The little girl wanted a piggyback ride on her father's shoulders.
Viable.
Capable of being done as intended, able to succeed.
Examples:
Achieve a viable relationship. Develop a viable therapy. Male gorillas with good drumming skills are more viable.
Climate.
The weather in a particular location averaged over some long period.
Examples:
A cold climate. Effects of climate change. Climate and weather have an impact on every part of our lifestyles.
Utterly.
Completely or absolutely.
Examples:
Utterly changed. Utterly ignorant. We are utterly opposed to any form of terrorism.
Destabilize.
To cause something to become less stable or secure.
Examples:
Destabilize the market. Destabilize a good relationship. The political crisis destabilized the country and caused widespread turmoil.
Squishy.
Soft and yielding to the touch, easily deformed.
Examples:
Squishy texture. A squishy story. The squishy foam ball is perfect for squeezing to relieve stress.
Oxygen.
The chemical element with the symbol O that is present in air and water and is necessary for people, animals, and plants to live.
Examples:
The hydrogen binds the oxygen. Lack of oxygen. The passenger grabbed for the oxygen mask.
Possibility.
A chance that something may happen or be true.
Examples:
Possibility for growth. Possibility of a major earthquake. The possibility of getting the disease will drastically increase.
Damage.
To harm or cause injury to something or someone, often resulting in decreased value or functionality. To impair or negatively affect something, such as a reputation or relationship. Noun, harm or injury that is caused to a person, thing, or entity.
Examples:
Damage a relationship. Damage assessment. During the surgery, the doctor had to be extremely cautious not to damage a blood vessel.
Incredible.
Unbelievable, extremely large.
Examples:
Incredible amount. At incredible speed. Her response revealed incredible idiocy.
Scared.
Afraid or frightened.
Examples:
Scared all the time. Scared dog. I'm scared of insects.